People ask me all the time, do I have to take a preliminary breath test? I'm attorney Stuart Sanowitz, and I'm here to tell you that in Michigan, the answer to that question is no. Now, keep in mind, the preliminary breath test is what the officer asks you to do at the time of the traffic stop. The officer is going to say, can you blow into this so I can check your blood alcohol level? And your answer should be, no, I don't want to. Now, if the officer arrests you and they take you back, then Michigan has what's called implied consent. Implied consent means in exchange for the privilege of driving an automobile, you give up your Fourth Amendment right to be free of unreasonable searches and seizures, so that if you get arrested for drunk driving, you have to submit to a chemical test. And there's certain requirements that the officer has to tell you. They have to tell you your rights. They have to wait a certain amount of time. And there's a whole procedure. And if they don't follow the procedure, then you may be able to get a ticket dismissed because they didn't follow the proper procedure. But if you don't take an implied consent test, not the PBT, that you don't have to take, but if you don't take an implied consent test, then you can lose your license for a period of time. In order to fight that, you have to actually request a hearing within 14 days after it happens. It's a hearing with the Driver's License Bureau. It's a different hearing than your criminal hearing. So there's a lot to it, and it has to be done in the proper order. And there are defenses. There are there are 4 things that an officer has to prove at this hearing before you would lose your license. And sometimes the officers don't appear. Sometimes there's circumstances that, for example, if somebody's got diabetes or they've got some other hemophilia or some other condition, they may not have to take a preliminary breath test. You need to, if you're in that circumstances, you need to contact a competent defense attorney and see what your defenses are, because you don't want to lose your license, and you certainly don't want to go to jail, lose your job, lose your CDL, lose your ability to drive for Uber or Lyft or anything else if that happens. So if you got any questions about implied consent or PBTs, please feel free to give me a call or shoot me an email, and I will be glad to answer your questions.